Big bright screen. Lights off. So I'm in a queue. I already got the Switch 2 from GameStop. We'll talk about that in a moment. This is now, for me, looking at it, about the third or fourth time today where they are taking pre-orders. As a matter of fact, just before I recorded this video, I was able to add it to my basket. Don't give up hope. That's the point of this video. This is going to be ongoing for today for a little bit till they run out. I'm pretty confident that Nintendo's going to push out more and more consoles. I don't think this is going to be like, you know, the PS4 era. For me, it took 11 months to secure a PS4. The Switch 1 was a bit of a gamble, not for myself, but for other people. And then the whole PS5 thing, Xbox Series, you know, during the pandemic was a bit hog wild. I have good faith that things are going to be different. And if not, at least you tried. And the reason I have good faith is, like I said, this is like the third or fourth time they're doing the pre-order here. And I just don't think there might be as much demand for this as the original Switch. A lot of people, I think, are going to hold on to their original Switch. They're not too concerned about it. Maybe the price will throw them off a little bit. I think that will deter a couple of people. Now, this is all just speculation. And I went to a local GameStop store this morning. I was only there I was only there 35 minutes. I was there at 9:25, 35 minutes before they opened. Started talking to like half the people in the line because that's just what I do. I'm French and I have a big mouth. And everything went smoothly, and I secured myself a Switch 2. My rant comes from the manager, who I do know personally. He just was not able to tell me or anybody else, and I've pulled him aside before in the past when it came to like the Switch 1 and all that. Known him for years. I said, do you honestly just, you don't have a clue? He's like, honestly, they just give them to us, and as they go through the system, the pre-orders, I'm unable to find out, you know, there's 55 pre-orders, there's 55 core systems, and out of those, you know, 20 are the bundle with Mario Kart. He wasn't able to tell me or anybody else that. So I believe him, because I have no reason to not believe him. He's shared some inside stuff with me before from GameStop that I will never share with anybody else, because I swore that I wouldn't. This he didn't swear to me. Or made me swear to him, rather. So, got in. When the doors opened, they just let everybody in. And just kind of like, yeah, that's a bit too bright. Basically, you walk in, pretend like this square here. Ah, there you go. Pretend that whole blue area is the counter. And there's a cash on the left-hand side. And there's a cash on the right-hand side. The door is right here. So we all walk in. And we all line up like this. And then that's the back of the room where all the Funko Pops are. And then you kind of like snake back around. And then you go to the green dot, which is the Q bar, by the way. And then you start pre-ordering here. A couple of moments later, a girl came into the booth. And she went over here and said, oh, some people please move over. She pointed at me because I was like right here. This is the counter again. I was like right here. Everybody behind me just and then just like did their own snake. I like hesitated for a split second because I wasn't sure if I was being forced to do that. Not a big deal. She didn't say you have to, but she pointed at me. She said, let's make a second line. But she didn't retain the order. So now half the people that were near the end that showed up like a half hour later practically, they were the first ones in line. That bothered me not because I had to wait about 15 minutes longer in line than the person that was right behind me that I was talking to. I was more annoyed with the fact that they didn't keep the order of the lines. But because he was so confident, even though he didn't have exact numbers, the manager that is, everybody walked out with a Switch 2 pre-order. That, I think, is the main takeaway. So I would have been really upset had I missed my pre-order chance due to that line split up. But I think in the end, it didn't matter to her because maybe she knew or they just had a gut feeling. You have to understand, there was probably only like 50 to 60 people max. That's it. When I got there, there was about 28 or 29 people in front of me. I was like the 30th or 31st person in line. And GameStop in the US, inside scoop from somebody who knows somebody who works at GameStop in the US that happens to know, apparently they have 100 pre-orders. I don't know if that's 100 of each, the core bundle or the core and the bundle. So like 200 total or 100 each. I don't know. I just know that everybody that showed up, everybody that walked out, everybody got a Switch 2. Got in my car, Very slowly drove through the parking lot of Walmart. There was a guy walking in the same direction, so I'm going this way. From the bottom rather. The top. And then the blue is the Walmart. That's like the front door right here. So I'm driving nice and calm. There's a guy walking to the left of me on the sidewalk. And he just randomly bloop, walks in front of me. So I was like right here. I had plenty of time to stop. I also wasn't going fast. Like 8 miles an hour, 12, 13 kilometers an hour. I was crawling through the parking lot here. But he didn't look anywhere, and I didn't know. He just suddenly walks and bloop, jumps in front of me. That's the sound he made too, bloop, like that. So I hit my brakes. I was playing some music. He turns around. I couldn't make out what he was saying. I was like, you know what? I really don't have time for this shit because this kind of stuff happens a lot, scary enough. And I was like, you know what? I want to be a better person, but I do want to confront this person non-aggressively. And I've done that many times with a lot of success. So I drive up. I turn left. And I park in front because you're allowed to do that. Like if you're dropping somebody off, like the lane is wide enough that you can just stop there. So now I'm looking backwards through my rearview mirror. He's there. And he still did he pointed. He didn't give me the middle finger, but he did a pointing. Looked at me. I got out of my car, but he just walked in. You know the expression, let's take this outside? I guess he wanted to take it inside, but I didn't want to go in Walmart. I took the extra time out of my day to park to the side to be like, look, man, I'm sorry that you feel that I potentially did something bad, but I didn't. You just randomly walked in front of my car. So I stopped. I didn't honk. I didn't yell at him. He yelled at me. And I've done stuff like that before, and you'd be surprised how often, more often than none, people actually react nicely. There was this one guy, I stopped at a school crossing. There's like a white line, so I stopped right on the white line, but his kneecaps were nowhere near my bumper. He was like 4 or 5 car lengths in front of me. Because that's how far apart the white line is where you got to stop, if you can, when there's a crosswalk, just the way it's painted on the ground. Obviously, you have to use discretion because what happens if you're already past the line and then somebody, just cuts in front, hits the button and goes? You have to use discretion and just stop in front of them. You could be 5 feet in front of them, 15 feet in front of them, doesn't matter. Really, as long as you're nowhere near hitting them and you're not speeding. So I wasn't doing that. The guy started yelling. I stopped. I was like, hey, man, I didn't even come anywhere near close to hitting you. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Don't mind me. He broed me. We don't even know each other, but apparently I'm his bro. He bros me. He's like, I'm just having a bad day. I just woke up. Haven't had my coffee yet. He was walking his dog. I was like, it's all good, man. I just wanted to stop to make sure that you legitimately didn't think I did something because you had me confused because you looked so angry. You started making me question myself. Like, did I do something I wasn't supposed to do? See somebody crossing, I stop right there. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, no, this was totally on me. So I've had good luck with that, doing that stuff. This one here, did I want him to approach the car? Yeah, but not for the reasons that you're thinking. It wasn't to be Rambo or Terminator. It was just to clear the air like, hey, I'm not here to, start anything, but you kind of did walk in front of my car. I didn't honk at you, so clearly it wasn't a big deal. Let's just have a good day. That's what I wanted to leave him with, because that feels good to do that. It didn't happen. He just walked in. Whatever. He can stay angry. I don't give a shit. I just thought I would rant about that for a moment because that had to do with my journey to get the Switch 2. My line gets broken up, then I got people walking in front of my car. This is why I stay home, or when I go out for a drive, it's at 3 o'clock in the morning when there's nobody else around but the raccoons and the fucking birds chirping. Literally. That's when I have complete peace and serenity, or in the comfort of my own home. Nobody's around, windows open, got the thunderstorm playing in the background just for some nice, relaxing ASMR-like shit going on, and I just flap my gums 100 miles an hour like a crazy French Canadian, because that's what I do. So don't give up hope. That was the main point. When it comes to this, I'm now just going to get out of the queue because I don't need to get another Switch. I'm not a scalper, so I don't need to do that. But give it a try. Same thing with GameStop. If you happen to go in, you might be surprised how many pre-orders you got. Because by the time the store was empty, they still had some pre-orders left. Well after the store had been open for a half hour. So that's why overall I have a good feeling that there's going to be more stock than we're expecting. Maybe not quite as much to meet the demand 100%. but I want to bank on by June, July, everybody that really, really wanted a Switch is going to get one. Stay positive. I find it helps. Thumbs up if you liked the video. That's also positive. It helps with the algorithm. I'm trying to make my decrepit ass more relevant in the search results, and people are looking shit up online. You didn't like the video? That's fine. Go ahead. Give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, and I'll make sure your pre-order comes to me. And then when you go to make the final payment, I add a $50 tariff. It's the Philminator tariff. For just not having given me a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally that would be great. Hey, I could just take the whole Switch, okay? The fact that you're still getting it with a $50 markup, it's not that bad. Yeah, you want to subscribe? Great. If not, whatever. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And if I'm lucky, maybe, just maybe, I will see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.